really very good, lots of networking, and what I love about this conference is the fact that it's a lot of like-minded people or people who are interested to know more and will openly ask questions about it.
So it's really interesting. It's lovely to be with lots of like-minded people who are excited about immersive technologies. Some great conversations, and what I'm finding very exciting is people who are doing amazing things in terms of technology, but also lots of people who've got sort of new ideas, who are saying what can we do with it, how can we use it in terms of things like sustainability, somebody talking about neurological health, really great ideas. So it feels like it's a moment of lots of energies coming together, and that's what days like this are for, aren't we? To have lots of great conversations and they spark new projects and activities.
There's a massive opportunity across all sectors in terms of virtual reality adoption. Our solutions are agnostic in terms of industries. We've been fortunate that we've had lots of clients that operate in the blue light services and security, from the Home Office through to Department of Defence in America, and obviously our own homegrown forces here.
So how have you found today?
Oh, it was great. Coming from an advertising background, I had quite a lot of insights and thinking about the possibilities that I could use in my life.
So I think the really exciting thing is the way people can collaborate across the continents. So the world is getting very small because people can talk wherever they are in the world using this sort of technology.
How's your day been plugging into the Metaverse today?
It's been really good. Learned a lot of stuff, good information. My favorite talk so far was the art NFT one. Interesting because an artist that I follow recently started to do NFTs on her own. So it's kind of good to learn about that. And I also worked in an art museum previously, and so hearing how they evolved in COVID and having to make things all virtual was really interesting because I know the museum I was at struggled. So it's kind of cool to see how other people are doing that. So yeah.
There could be a real neat use of this to connect people to environments they're not near to and help mobilise their mindsets to.
So I would say gaming is important for VR because it's an entertainment factor. People like to be entertained with playing stuff. They want to be part of something. They want to experience what it's like to be in that role and experience something that's different from their daily life, but actually feel like they can interact with that environment, be a part of that, and I think that's something that they just can't do otherwise.
It's one of the better conferences I've been at. Having heard Brian slowly, work through all the small details over the past few weeks, I feel like the end result is absolutely brilliant, for what it is. I've had a chance to talk to so many people today, from developers to actual business owners, to people that want to enter this field, and I feel like this is one of the perfect opportunities for everyone to get to network, talk to each other about that, and
For me, the main thing about using virtual reality in training was a no-brainer because it allowed me to stop travelling as much, and my whole intention was to provide a service to hoteliers where I didn't have to travel as much as I was travelling. And with the aspect of virtual reality, I was able to do this within the Metaverse.
Don't just think of it as either this or that. Think about adding that value, not simply in content and its existence, but also in experience.
So XRs for the future it'll just become natural, like you do with smartphones now. You'll interact with the world. You go to a shop and you'll have the information in front of you. It'll tell you about what sales are going on, what sizes you need to fit. You won't even have to try the clothes on. You can just sort of look in the direction of the clothes and then look into the mirror and you'll see the clothes overlaid onto you, so it'll be less time you'll spend in the changing rooms.
I think digital's amazing, and I was chatting to someone at the conference yesterday about sending across a VR kit to a remote filming location and you only had to fly over one person.
I think what's really interesting is Dean, you touched on the value at the end of your presentation. I think that's the key thing to look into. And I want to do a quick show of hands, actually, if you'll allow me already started to use it, whether in work or academia. Okay, interesting. So the adoption cycle for Facebook took about 4.5 years to reach 100 million users. ChatGPT has taken 1 month to reach the same amount of users.
In the sense that it wasn't really the people who found the gold that made the money, it was the people who made the spades and the pickaxes and the tools and things. And I think that's kind of where we're at the moment. Metaverse is something down the road somewhere, but there's lots of valuable tools and ways of doing things, VR, AR, 3D worlds, all these sorts of things which you can make use of in your business. So it's not really about maybe that end thing, it's about the thing that's actually really valuable.
Well, lots of staff left due to the pandemic, and a lot of people decided that they didn't want to go back into that industry. So there's a massive gap of talent available. So what we've been able to do when they come into the virtual world, we're not only showing them the job that they're going to be doing, but they also have access to other departments. So normally, for instance, if you're working in a hotel kitchen and you're a porter, you're not going to go and stand at the front desk. So what we're able to do in our virtual reality training and the metaverse training, we can enable and transform them to be in that department.
One of my first experiences of VR was at a climate change conference where there had been 360-degree filming out in an area where climate change was hitting really badly, and certainly to help, it's always a challenge communicating sustainability. Actually, it could be a really nice use of VR to connect people with something that's not on their doorstep. Here in the Western world, in the UK, climate change, ecological collapse is very on the horizon, we can't see it yet. So if we can transport people to places where it's already happening, hopefully that will resonate with them and they can mobilise themselves.
So to give you some use cases how it's been adopted, 28,500 London bus drivers have gone through training with our equipment, because we also provide the hardware as well as the software and the content, and that's around hazard prediction, placing the bus drivers in the shoes of vulnerable road users so they understand what their passengers actually go through, and pedal cyclists and motorcyclists, and also well-being, because there's a culture within bus drivers, because it tends to mainly be male-dominated, that you're a bit macho environment, and it's not appropriate to say I'm not actually fit to drive this bus today. So it's looking at behavioural change.
Lawyers, solicitors, they all need to start thinking differently of the world that we will be living in. So you can't really go on so many old laws. It has to adapt very quickly. So we should, in theory, with the policymakers and we're informing them, head to the direction that we want, not the direction that looks like we might inherit.
So that sort of adding value thing is absolutely finding those moments where you can do it in a way that would be difficult with a physical headset, would be difficult for all of those other barriers. So it's all the same stuff. In terms of the business use, it's all sorts. We've got lots of marine businesses in this part of the world. They're very interested in how can people experience being underwater, how can you go inside a nuclear submarine, all of those sorts of things, so they're interested in it. Lots of stuff around training, very interesting conversations about some training is really great if it's done through headsets, some stuff actually do want people interacting. Are there ways of sort of managing that?
Becoming a vital tool is within training and education, and when it comes to training, that's all sorts of training, even from the medical field where it's kind of live broadcast of operations and surgery. That's a genuine, not just a one-off success.
We're finding organisations, universities and seats of learning in other countries are providing the talent that's going to take it forward.
And you're learning about what their experiences in life been. And that will start communities understanding different cultures, different pressures on cultures through upbringings, and I think there'll be a levelling out. There'll be more of a common understanding of how people exist in this world, and I think that will solve a lot of troubles, because people start to understand. When you understand people, you can see their perspective. It's like walking in their shoes for a while. In immersive tech, you start walking in other people's shoes.
This you could never do before. It's special. This is something that's really, really special, and I don't think people realise. I heard somebody saying before, it's when, we need to be ready for when it's coming. It's here. Run with it. Take it. Change it. Do it. Just keep going, and utilise it to how you need it to be, not how somebody tells you it should be done.